Now that our new field is harvested, we turn our attention to the other work on the farm this August. We have more production happening than we ever have before. Potatoes are growing in the garden, and we have lots and lots of straw to bale, and more in this episode. Welcome back to the farm. You can find a link to this series in the description or in the comments below, and of course, check out the channel page for other farming series you might like. It's still August here on the farm because there's just so much to do, so welcome back to Shady Country Distillery. There's a lot going on in August. Now, you saw in last episode, and if not, we'll have a link down below to the entire playlist so you can see last episode if you missed that. We were harvesting our new field, the very large oat field. And, there's one thing here. I'll come back over here and show you. So, yeah, we did that harvest. Now, of course, there is everything else to do in the month of August because harvesting that field was, again, of course, it was really most of last episode. Well, there's a lot of straw there to bale, which is what I've been doing here. Well, it's currently the morning of August 2nd. I spent a lot of the late afternoon after the harvest working on straw. We're still working on straw out there. Oh, yeah, so I came back to the farmyard because I wanted to show you something here. There was so much oats from that field to store. So what I did was, for $5,000, I had constructed an expansion tank for our silo here, as you can see. $5,000, and that got us another 25,000 liters of storage here. So the extra oats that we had, it was sitting in a tipper. I had a tipper with, like a 22,000 liter capacity and nowhere to dump it. So for $5,000, we built an expansion tank here. So now we do have room for all of our oats. But that said, that's about all we have room for. It's pretty much full now. I can always build more expansion tanks if we have to. But for now, that's storing the oats, which will go into our moonshine production, and that's where we're headed out to now. So there's a lot of things to handle since, last episode was pretty much all the harvesting. There's so many other things to do around here. We'll be baling straw, we'll be checking on production and things like that. So, again, welcome back to the farm. So let's head it here, because I've not been out here yet today. I'm just driving this tractor around because we're going to need the baler. We're going to be moving some things around. Yeah, we have some, just leave that there. Oh, we've got a few cases of moonshine. Well, we have several different kinds of moonshine production running right now. We have, from moonshine from jam, from grain, and from apples, all running at the same time. And this month, of course, our first potatoes will go into it. This month, we're going to start producing moonshine from potatoes. Our distillery is getting... Well, now, also last episode, was like the first episode of our distillery being, officially legit, where we can, actually do this out in the open and produce all this. So our product lines have gotten much more and much more diverse. And I also explained the weird setup here of having these three buildings. Yeah, it's because I haven't yet have a solution to enclose them in something. It was stopping the moonshine from spawning. Let's not worry about that for right now. Anyway, I'm putting these in the truck. I know we're just taking these over to our storage, but I figure as opposed to making 6 trips on foot over there, let's just put them in the truck. I know it's just a short distance over there, but we're just going to put all 6 of these in the truck so I don't have to carry each one by one over there. All right, we've got all those loaded up. Yeah, it just took a minute, and we'll just run it over here. Whoops. Yeah, the camera's going weird because I don't have them strapped down. There we go. It does that sometimes with these kinds of vehicles. All right, so instead of making 6 trips over here one by one, we can just load them up in the truck. And there we go. All right, so we got our moonshine. That's in storage because it's, we're producing quite a bit now. It's not like before where we had like 1 case a day. Now we have 6 cases out there, before lunchtime. So what I've been doing is we're storing it here in our storage here, and then when it's time to sell, we'll pull it out of the storage, load it into the truck, and that's why we have the big delivery truck now, of course, so we can take it all. And you can see in there's our 6 cases, and so when we have some more, then we'll load it up and take it down there. All right, so I've checked on that. Now, one thing I really want to do is I want to get our potatoes started. We don't have, that's something totally new, potatoes from moonshine. Well, that's because we just, potatoes are only going to be harvestable. They're only going to come out of their garden. Let's shut this down here and let's take the truck. Actually, I'll show you why in a second because we're going to be moving potatoes. Potatoes are only available from August through September. And well, this is our first full year here, so this is the first time we've had a chance to harvest potatoes, of course. So we're going to be starting off potatoes in our moonshine, that method of moonshine. I'm bringing the truck over here because we need to haul these over to the distillery, and we should have a few trays, a few crates of potatoes. Yes, we do. Here's our first potatoes from the farm. They look good. Yeah, all right. Well, let's get these loaded up in the truck. So when we go back over to the distillery, to the stills, you know, proper, we'll take these over there with us. And being as this is our first production of these, I'm not sure how these are going to go, but how the production, you know, like how much of these we'll get, how fast, you know, I don't know. But this morning we had 4 of these sitting here, these crates of potatoes. Let's go ahead and shut, whoops, how'd that, well, let's pick this up and put this in the truck. There we go. I'm just going to shut the truck off there. All right, a few more things I want to manage here. We got some strawberries. Let's run these strawberries over to the jam production. And then while I'm putting these here, okay, it should, yeah, there we go. All right, well, we're putting the strawberries there. We do have jam that's been produced. And this is going to go into the truck. We're going to take this to the still as well, because we have moonshine from jam running at the still. So all this stuff here is going to the still to be made into moonshine. I'm going to get the rest of these strawberries here loaded into the jam production. All right, well, I got all the strawberries that'll go there. So the jam production is full on strawberries. We may have to store some more strawberries in our warehouse, because I've been putting as many strawberries as I can over there in the jam production, and simply it doesn't use them as fast as the greenhouse grows them. So we'll find another use for the strawberries. That's actually not a bad idea. Something I want to look at is getting a stake in a bakery, of course. Maybe, yeah, not at this moment, but when we do, we'll be using strawberries. Maybe we can make them into like a cake or something like that. I don't know. But as it is right now, we're kind of producing more strawberries than we need. Now, for right now, let's get this stuff unloaded here. You know, we've got 3. I wish we just had one, you know, still, but the way this is right now, we have these 3 buildings. So I'm going to try to divide these things here amongst the 3. So not all of these are going to, these 3 stills are not going to have even production. It doesn't matter if they have exactly even, because they can't, you know, because here we have 2 trays of jam, and it doesn't matter. They're all set to put out the same product, so they'll all put out the same product. All right, so there's those, and now we're going to start the potatoes in these. Let's pull this out of the truck first. All right, so we'll take some potatoes into each of these, and then we'll start up the production on this. And I've checked, and the supplies that the stills have is pretty good. They have the sugar, the yeast, and the propane butane that they need to run, and the water. They have what they need, so we can head back out to the field and do field work that we need to get done. Production, you know, running a production farm like this requires a lot of, you know, some, you know, tending here and there to stuff. You know, we didn't do anything last month. Last month we just worked in the field. So the beginning of this month, there's a little of this that has to be done. All right, so I'm going to manage the production of these and turn on the potato moonshine from potatoes, because this is a new one we haven't done yet. So water, potatoes. Oh, oats as well. Well, it's a good thing we have oats then. Look at that. Potato moonshine takes oats. Excellent. Okay, so there's another use for our oats. I actually did not know that heading into this. See, right now we're making grain moonshine right there from oats. You can see on the right side of the screen we have 5470 out of 6,000 liters of oats. That's great, because those oats are going to go into potato moonshine as well. Water, potatoes, oats, yeast, propane, butane. Excellent. Well, then that oat harvest was that was not only beneficial, that was just lucky. That was just plain lucky. All right, turn on potato moonshine on these 3 stills here. Wow, that's incredibly lucky, and that's good too. We have, as that happens, you know, because of the size of that field, we have a huge surplus of oats. So, well, that really worked in our favor, and I didn't even know. I had no idea how favorable that huge oat harvest was. That's excellent, because, you know, literally, like, our silo is so full of oats, I had to build more silo to hold them. So, All right, now speaking of the bountiful oat harvest, let's actually, before we head out there, let's have a look at our apples. One thing I forgot, because we also have moonshine from apples. We're going to go out to the field, but first I'm going to toss these in the truck, and we're going to run these over and put these in the stills. And what I'll do, I think I'm still getting the hang of this and the way to save time. I think the way to save time is going to be, instead of loading them and then unloading them one by one, we're going to take this truckload of apples to one still, the next truckload of apples to a different still, etc. Because it takes time to pull all of these out one by one and toss them where they need to go. So for now, we're just going to grab these apples here, and we're going to drive these to one of the stills, so I don't have to unload them one by one. And then the next truckload of apples we'll just take to a different one, and that's how we'll be doing this. So we'll just back these up to this still that's right here, and saves the trouble of unloading them. There we go. Next truckload we'll just take to a different one. All right, now we can get out to the field. Now that we've got moonshine rolling, we got all the production good for now. Just, like every day I kind of have to come out here and tend to this stuff a little bit, or if I don't, then I have more to do the next day, etc. So let's get back out to our field, and I'll show you what's going on with our straw. So after a very bountiful oat harvest, we are left with an 8-hectare field, which is, well, there's a lot of straw, as you can see here. Let's get out into the field. You can see I've got about half of the field, maybe a little more. Yeah, I got maybe 2/3 of the field baled. Yeah, this is a lot of straw. You can see here, we've got all this baled now. Now, we're going to have to take care of all these bales. We don't need as much straw, so all the straw can be sold, which is great. It's going to be a lot of really good income. Our farm, our distillery, and our farm is just producing more and more income, and this here is coming right at the head of all that. Right as we're producing more and more moonshine, we have all this straw to sell because we simply don't need it all. We use a little bit of straw for our chickens for bedding, and we use some straw in the composter, but aside from that, that is about 1% of what we put out here. So what I figure I'll do, we don't have a bale loader, but we do have this flatbed trailer right here that we brought the harvester out on this. Why I left it out here, well, we've got all these bales. We've got a flatbed trailer just sitting here, and we have a front loader with spikes on it. Yeah, so what we'll do is we'll just get to work on this. First, let's do some baling. Actually, you know what? Yeah, let's do some loading, because I don't want to leave it all until the very, very end. So what we'll do is we'll just park this here. But yeah, there's going to be a lot of loading to do, and I don't intend to do this all this month. I mean, there's a lot of bales here to load. I don't know how many. I haven't counted them yet, but there's surely a lot of bales here to load. What we'll do is I'm going to bale one section of the field at a time. For instance, we're going to start baling on this end and I'll work our way toward the road over there, so that, you see, this field may end up divided into strips like our other field. It's very possible it could do that, because we don't necessarily need this entire field as one crop. So say if I clear off this section here of bales, we can go ahead and start planting this one section of field and worry about loading the other bales at a later date, is what I was getting at there. So let's park our trailer here. This will work. And you know what? There's actually one thing I forgot. If we're going to be moving bales, we're going to want some weight on the back of the tractor. I'll be right back. I'm going to go grab a weight for the back of the tractor. All right, we're back out here, and now we've got some counterweight on the back of the tractor. I've just left that grass bale back there strapped down because it makes such a good counterweight. It allows us to easily pick up 2 bales without having any problems. Before, yeah, without that weight on the back, the tractor could pick up 1 bale, but really it couldn't do 2. So by properly counterweighting it with exactly 1 bale, it's no surprise that second grade math leads us to deduct that it can now pick up 2 bales because it's being counterweighted by 1 bale, right? So yeah, I'll just get these loaded on here. The trailer we have here, this is for equipment, but I see no reason why we can't use it for bales, as it's a nice flat surface. It's got wheels. We've got a trailer that I have been using for bales, but it'll only hold about 6 before, yeah. This looks like we can easily put 8 on here without any issue at all. I mean, just in the big flat area I saw right there, there's easily room for 8 bales. So I figure we'll get this side of the field here cleared off first. And then that way, because I would like to plant more oats on this field. Well, we still can this year. I believe we can still plant oats this year. And so maybe this part of the field we can do that on. Other parts of the field I may decide to plant next year. And so those parts of the field, you know, will have more time to clear off the straw. But for sure, this section of the field here, I want to clear the straw off in case we want to do something with it. All right, so we're getting these on here pretty good. I can easily get 8 bales on there. I might see if I can squeeze a few more, but I don't think it's worth it to go out of my way to try to, you know, I don't want to spend too much effort to put more on there when I could have gotten by with fewer faster. Yeah, see, like putting 8 is clearly very easy and leaves some room for error. If I try to do more, I risk knocking things off. So we can do these 8 at a time, or maybe even, I think I could put some on the back there without risking the integrity of the stacks. Looks like we can maybe get 12 on there, and we can run those. And so throughout the end of this year, we'll get the rest of this baled. It might even get baled within the next month. Although I don't intend on getting this fully baled today, of course. I mean, you know, unloaded, you know, all that. There's just a lot of bales. And it's quick and efficient. I think I'm fairly efficient with the loader. You know, as efficient as I am, however efficient that is, there's a lot to be done. Because I can only move this thing so fast. You know. We could invest in a loader. Yeah, and when we have more money, oh yeah, when the farm has more money, I'll be looking at getting a bale loader. You know, same reason we got a bigger tractor and all that. We'll eventually have bigger, better equipment. Let's see. Yeah, so I think we can fit more bales on this. Let's go ahead and let's put these bales on, and then I'll see if I can push these forward, maybe. But again, you know, I don't want to cause us to have to do any undue work we wouldn't normally have to do, like accidentally knock something off. You know what? Let's have a look at something. If we fold up the ramps, it doesn't leave us room for more bales back there. Let's see. Let's see here. When we fold up these ramps, I'm going to start the engine first. All right. Whoops. Darn it. When we fold up these ramps, yeah, we've got room for another stack back there. Now, that part of the trailer is tilted. Yeah. Well, it might be that we can push these bales forward just a tad. Because it'd be nice if you could fit a few more bales on there. 8 is fine, but if I could easily pack a few more on, well, that'd be better. All right, another stack of 2 here. Now, we're going to put these on the back and see if I can push the other stacks of bales forward. And if it doesn't look like it's going to happen, I'm not going to force it. I don't want them falling over. But if we could just get these 2 more on there. I mean, that's 25% more bales on the entire, you know, trailer. If we could. Yeah, I don't want to cause any issues, so we're going to back that off. The load looks fairly even on there. Well, let's shut that down. Let's check it out. For the most part, I mean, it's even kind of, yeah, I don't want to tempt fate and have to reload all these bales and strap these in. And let's go ahead and deliver these, and let's get an idea what we're going to get for 8 bales. Yeah, they're not quite centered on here. I wouldn't recommend driving a truck with a load off center like this. Let's go ahead and deliver these bales to the sell point, and let's see what we're going to get. Let's get an idea. But I kind of get an idea for loading the trailer now. We'll load the next one better. Now that I know we can easily fit 10 on here, the next time I load these, I can put the first 8 on there knowing that there's room for 2 more, and then, you know, leave better room for them. So, we're going to run down to the bale selling point. Honestly, loading the field as we did, loading 10 bales at a time, was not that bad. I mean, there were so many bales on that field that the thought of doing it by hand without a bale loader, looking at it as one big overall job, is pretty intimidating. But when you just look at it as like, well, we're only going to do 10 at a time, that's not so bad. I think we can do it this way. I'm just trying to get room to turn the truck around in here, and let's see what we can get for 10 bales, which is not an insignificant amount of straw. Let's see here. So that's about 9,500, 9,600-ish, 9,500-ish. Yeah, so over $9,000 for 10 bales. So what, like close to $1,000 a bale, basically. That's not bad when you think about how many bales are potentially on that field. Not bad at all. Yeah, a little over $9,000 for 10 bales. All right, so I'm going to get us back to the field. We'll get a bit of it cleared off, and then we can start baling some more of it up. Once we get some... We've got one section pretty clear. We can go ahead and even get a tractor out there. We can kind of get some work started out there in stages. It was a big harvest, and it's going to be a big job to get it retransitioned back into a planted field. We'll just have to see how that goes. All right, back out here at the field. We got a good portion of it cleared off. Yeah, the task that I was looking at of loading all those bales one by one looked insurmountable. But and the temptation to just give in and get a bale loader is quite tempting. But we're pressed on money. That's just how it is, because we had to take out big loans to do what we've done so far on the farm. Everything's been going good, and well, as it is, it looks like we'll be good. Look, we got a good section of this cleared off. So I'd say, looking at what I see here, it's not going to take too much work to get a full half this field cleared. In fact, I think one more load from this trailer, and that pretty much is half the field as it is right now clear. I was honestly expecting a lot more work. I was expecting it to be overwhelming, but yeah, not too bad at all. It's good to know that, see, pretty much every farm I've done before, I've always ended up breaking down and getting a bale loader when the bale loading just becomes too much. You do a big successful wheat or oat harvest, and then you get all the bales, and it's like, oh my gosh, this is overwhelming. But well, when you break it down, and if you can do it fairly quickly, it's not too bad. Now what we'll do is, if I can get these front four on here, if I can get them on forward enough so that we won't have to bump them forward, we can go ahead and strap them down to prevent anything from potentially happening. Like if I get a little rough and rowdy with some of the subsequent bales, yeah, see, these are good, so we can go ahead and strap these down. Okay, that way, yeah, see, those look good. They're pretty centered. Now, if we get a little rough with some of the other bales, there's no danger of knocking those off. If you guys have seen my channel, if you've seen videos here before, then you've undoubtedly seen me load bales. I can recall in Texas, when we were farming in Texas, well, that was a lot of bales. I can remember there was trailers where we had 40 bales on a trailer, and putting them on there, yeah, I can recall having stacks fall because I was stacking, 8 or so bales at a time. Yeah, there's been videos, there's been a series where I had bale loaders. In fact, you often see me use bale loaders, but you've never seen me use any auto loading stuff. I've never used auto loading things. I only use things that, if it's machinery, which I've seen that exists in real life, that's what we use. And this farm, I think we're fine just loading like this here on this farm. Even this big field. Yeah. We'll get these 10... Wait, so here we've got 6. Here's 8. We'll put 11 on this load because there's a third. There's an outlier bale out there. We get those 3 bales over there on here, and we'll have... I think it's safe to say half the field clear. That's enough. We can move on. All right, that's loaded pretty good. And look at that. Yeah, we have enough on the back easily for 3 more bales, and maybe more, actually. And those are strapped. Yeah, we got We got enough flat space back there for... Yeah, these 3 bales here should make... let's get these 2 first, and we'll get that 3rd one by itself. I don't think... with this bale, counterweighting the tractor, I can lift 2 bales, but I don't think I'll be able to lift 3. So we'll just get these 2 here, and then we'll come back for that other one, because I'm not sure that I can do... 3 would be too much. Maybe not half the field. This gives us a good section, and we can move on to other tasks for sure. For one, we can get back to baling, now that I know this is not such an overwhelming task. Now we carefully... Oh, those are strapped down. That's right. We don't have to be that careful. All the bales are strapped. And it's never a bad idea when you're loading like this to periodically strap stuff down. There we go. Excellent. Yeah, that's better than the first load. I knew it would be once we figure out how to do it. And we'll just throw this bale here on top. And maybe one of those down there too, actually, because I think, at least from the viewpoint I have of down here on the field, it looks like if we head straight down the field, yeah, some of these bales here are actually on this half of the field as well. So I think we can carefully, since the other bales are already strapped down, I think we can carefully throw a few more up there. Very carefully, especially as these are heavy. Make sure, I'll slowly lift these, make sure we don't tip the tractor over. You see, we can throw these up here. Whoops. That's as far as we can reach. That is indeed as far as we can reach. Well, here's what we can do. Can we grab that top bale? And then what we can do is this number here. There we go. There's still... Oh, there's always a way. All right, we can fit a couple more up there now. So it looks like what we'll do is we'll take this bale and one other, and I'll say that's about half the field. In fact, we can check that. About a third. Yeah. Yeah, it's hard to tell when you're down here on the field, you know. But if we get this one and this bale down here, that's... Oh, there's 3 down here. Okay, here's what we'll do then. We'll drop this off here. Yeah, I'm not a perfectionist, but I want things to be right, so we'll just ditch that bale there. Yeah, I'm not a perfectionist. I'll leave that bale there. But once I decided I want to get, you know, 1/2 or 1/3 of the field done, I do, even if it means, yeah, we'll abandon that bale over there. We'll grab these 2, and this is pretty much the eastern, 1/3 of the field here. All right, and this is all we're going to bother loading on the trailer for the time being. So I'm going to get these loaded just like we did those previous ones. Nice and evenly up there. There we go. All right. Well, that's actually... That wasn't too much harder. I'd say that's still saving time. It's not so... You know, that's not so many more bales that it's taking more time. That's pretty decent. Can we, yeah, redo these straps. Hold these bales down. There we go. All right. So... We'll haul these later. There's 12 up there. Yeah, no, there's 14. There's 14 bales up there, so we know that'll be about, what, 13 grand, something like that. And let's get some baling done. Yeah, now that I know that's going to go fine, it's seriously a huge weight lifted. That's a lot easier than I thought it was going to be just in that short time. Get 1/3 of the field cleared off. We can get back to baling. This is going to be a lot of income. I can't really estimate how many bales are out here. There's always more bales than it looks like. You know, it's... You know, there could be 40 bales out here. It doesn't necessarily look like there is, but... All right, now, I was going to pick up the baler. We're just going to have to... Here, let's leave this counterweight here so I'll see it. Yeah. I'm actually going to... Oops, wrong button there. Well, I want to leave it on the field so that I don't lose track of where I set it. If I set it in the grass, it could kind of just disappear. So let's get back out to the field and get some baling done. Now that we've got our production kind of taken care of for the day. You know, we got our production started and kind of taken care of. And here, we'll start from the south end down here. got a good portion of the bales loaded. That's a huge weight lifted. Again, you know. And we'll get this unfolded. Now, the way I've been doing this, it's pretty easy. It's relatively easy to go down each row and then turn and come back down every other row, you know, so you don't have to turn. It keeps you from, it keeps you from having to turn around too tight. You can come down every other row and then on the way back, hit every other row. And there we go. We got it set now. There's a lot of controls to hit there. There's a lot of controls to lower the pickup, turn it on, you get the tractor straight, get it in gear, all that stuff. Now, of course, the swaths, of course, they're so close together because our harvesting machine, you know, has a pretty narrow working width, so there's not a whole lot of straw in these windrows. But it's still putting out, I don't know, probably maybe 2 or 3 bales, maybe 2-ish bales per run here. Yeah, so this oat harvest, I mean, the very definition of a bountiful harvest, because we have, you know, all of this, you know, this is 7.75 hectares, all of those oats, which was about, I don't know, 60, 70, maybe now probably closer to 80,000 liters of oats when I can account for all of it that we harvested. Quite close to, I would say, 80,000 liters of oats. And then all the straw, you know. And all those oats, of course, are going into production for the farm. So, yeah, it's pretty good. And, yeah, it looks like about 2 bales per run. Able to run the full windrow and then drop 2 bales off. I mean, it's easy enough to just kind of turn like this into the second one down. And this goes pretty fast. Well, we're making good progress on the baling. Got a few rows done here. And then, yeah, once we get to, you just go every other row. And then once we get to the end of the field, come back every other row. That way we have nice, easy turning arcs. And yeah, it's been, it's 2 bales per windrow that we do. It's not too bad at all. And we'll get out here and get something planted this year. Possibly more oats. The oats, again, they turned out more useful than I imagine they would be, because we can use them to produce moonshine straight from grain, and also oat is the one crop that we can put with potatoes to get moonshine from potatoes. And I would like to eventually produce moonshine from bread as well, and well, we can make bread with oats. So oat might just be kind of our go-to crop, since it can be used for a lot of things. It could be handy to just farm oats. Now, we got another row started here, so we can go here real quick and look at the menu, look at our calendar here. Oats, we can't plant until February. I thought maybe we could plant them before winter. No, that's just wheat and barley and canola. So what I'm seeing? Yeah. So oats we'll have to plant next year, which gives us time. So if we want to do oats, that gives us time to get the field cleared off and reset. And I think that's good, because oats is something we can never have too many oats, because we can use them for bread, for potato moonshine, for grain moonshine. We can feed oats to our chickens. If we have extra oats, we can sell oats. Oats seems like it's going to be a really good go-to crop. Oats and maybe corn. As far as, you know, oat being a good cereal crop that we can get straw from, and corn being on the other end of crops that we could use for other things, you know, other kinds of moonshine and other things. I think oats and corn might be 2 crops we stick with. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. I think that might be good. Also, so that it's not just one crop, but if we were going to focus on one crop, I think we got a good one here in oats because of what we can do with it. Now, yeah, it's a little tight to turn around and hit the exact next row, and that's why I was going every other row. So now that we've gone every other row down the field, we just have this one here to get, and then, because, yeah, we left that space, we can now go the rest of the way down with, the easier turning circle. Just that one little one right there was kind of hard to turn around in. Anyway, so we'll get the rest of this baled. Not much of a problem to get it loaded, as it turns out. I guess we'll do the whole field as oats, although, let's think here. We could do the field half and half. I mean, this is a big field. We could do it half oats, half corn. I do think those are going to be two big, good crops for us. They do different things. You know, we can use anything that we need regular cereal grains for. We can use the oats, and we can use corn for the other stuff. We have a small section of the other field planted in corn right now. Next year, we could make it so that half of this field is, we'll figure it out. We don't have to, yeah, so we won't be planting anything on this field this year. That gives us the rest of this year to get this field cleaned up and ready. Get the bales off, get it, you know, run the disc over it, things like that. So coming down the field, as I've been coming down, just kind of counting the bales as I pass them and as I come up to them. This is not an exact count, but it looks like there's 30 bales out here. It looks like as of right now, there's 30 bales on the field. It's hard to say because as we get down here, those bales down there disappear into the distance and vice versa. But as I've been going down the field, a rough estimate, there's 30 out here now. And with 3 more windrows, that's, what, 6 more bales plus the 2 in the baler now. So I'd say it's safe to say that, yeah, there's about 40 bales out here. So that's not too bad. You can roughly estimate, you know, $35,000 to $40,000 worth of bales out here over a few trips, and we'll get that covered. You know, over the fall here, we'll get these, we'll get them delivered. Well, and this right here, we are just about at the end of all the baling for this field. All the harvesting that we did, the harvest, the oat harvest, the huge oat harvest, was, well, I mean, it was a big harvest. And because of that, we have all the straw. We have all the oats from the harvest, of course, all the straw to clean up. It's like that one thing, you know, caused a bunch more work for the rest of the month. And, well, that's how it is. And now, kind of got a handle on that. Let's make sure that I pick that up. Let me empty out the baler here. Yeah, I'm trying to, what I'm saying is, yeah, it was this big job, and it's caused a lot of other work, which is great. And I kind of got a handle on it now, and especially now that we've caught up and we have checked on our production equipment. Our production is fine. We're putting out Moonshine, and boy, do we have enough oats. Yeah, we've got enough oats now, and now we got a good foothold on this. I can start moving the straw off of here, and so we're set to roll into September. Next episode will be in September. And I'll get this stuff carted, you know, 1 truckload at a time. We'll get this carted down to the bale sell point. Big jobs like this, you know, the big oat harvest, it's more than just the harvest, because a big part of the job is everything, you know, else, like these, you know, all the baling and all the work of that, and plus, you know, all of the other work on the farm that I couldn't get done while we were doing this. But I think today we've covered a lot of stuff. Having checked on all the production, that's all good. We've got this here pretty good. I'll run those bales down to the sell point. Oh, I stopped here because I remembered I got that. You know, yeah, we can do that. I'm going to pick this counterweight up, and we're going to take this back with us. Because, yeah, always look for opportunities to kill 2 birds with 1 stone if you can, and that's what we can do here. Where's the pickup for it? The triangles on this side. So we'll take this back with us. Always look for an opportunity to move multiple things if you can. I'll just get this out of the way. There we go. Yeah, save us a trip back home. We'll take this stuff back. And then I'll go get out here and we'll get this loaded up. And so I'll see you guys in September, where we're going to be moving on with things. We won't have, I don't foresee any really huge jobs next month, but you never know. But hopefully we'll be a little richer. I will have run some Moonshine to sell. I'll probably have the rest of these bales sold by then. Hard to say for sure. But things are going good on the farm. Thanks a lot for joining me today, guys. I'll see you guys next month, now that everything I hear is done. And that was a big field purchase. I'll be using our new tractor, too, our new New Holland. It's going to be out at work on the fields. And, yeah, undoubtedly next episode, yeah, we'll have the New Holland, our big, huge new tractor out there doing some big field work. All right, guys, thanks so much for joining me. I'll see you then. Be sure to tell me what you think in the comments below. Of course, I appreciate your views and your subscription, as it really helps out the channel so much. Thanks a lot, guys.